So if anyone's on the stream, welcome to stream. Kind of cool to see some viewers on. This is Stormhaven, a custom legit progress server. A lot of fun, multiple level paths. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do as a solo player, and there's some stuff to do as a boxer, but you're not going to be able to see all the content that this server has to give boxing 6 or 12 tunes. It's just not feasible. I mean, I'm doing it right now, but again, I know the fight and I'm geared to the next tier. And that's one thing that with the buff. So like I used a crystal a little bit ago. So the crystal is like soy. Spirit of the Ego overrides the other one. And Bear, do me a favor. Excuse me. Can you link the crimson item that you get from that dragon, so I can just kind of show off in this video for future people? So Bear's gonna hand in the scales from the tier 1 dragon. So he's got 3 scales, and he's gonna hand in the emerald pendant. And then what he's gonna get in return is the crimson pendant. And that will allow him to say pass to the tier 2 wing and get his group into tier 2. And then there's going to be 3 different scales or items. There's not always a scale, but 3 items, and he's going to repeat the process. And that's how you kind of progress through this zone. So really he only needs it on 1 tune, but it looks like he might be doing it on this necro and this warrior. Wait, what? The scales. To get flag for tier 2, you have to upgrade your pendant. So you hand your pendant in. He gave you like an emerald pendant. Right there it says in that dialogue. So he's even telling you how to do it. So when you talk to this guy initially and he gives you the emerald pendant, that basically flags you for tier 1. Well, to get the flag for tier 2, you need to hand in the 3 scales of tier 1, and then the emerald, and then you have the crimson, and then you'll be able to support your group with the crimson. So there we go, the crimson. So on his necro, if he says his pass to the tier 2 guard, his whole group will go to tier 2. Which Bear is going to be able to, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to farm the first mob that I do, because it's a mob that I used to farm like when I first came to the zone. When I first came to the zone, I was able to box the first dragon that we didn't see, and the first fight in tier 2 pretty quickly, just from reading the wiki. And that's one thing. Even though I could do that, I wouldn't. Our guild would always raid like somewhere between 7 and 9 Eastern Standard Time. So my rule was like this zone is like 4 or 6 hour respawn timer. I would not kill those mobs 4 or 6 hours before our normal raiding hours, because it's not fair to the guild if I kill a mob that we're currently raiding and it's down just for my own selfishness. So it's just a rule. You cannot kill current content. And actually it was, you're not allowed to kill current content with anyone else. Don't get power geared. And again, it's just playing nice, because if you start going like if I was Bear and in a guild with other people, and I was just like farming something that other people could want, if those mobs are not available when I come on, it's like, well, why come on at all? I digress. So move on to tier 2. I want to go over here. And by the way, Bear, I mentioned on the stream that this is the mob that when you get your pages 1 through 9, you're going to want to hand it in to him in order. You don't have to worry about that right now. So go here. Let this guy pass. Get my macro going. All that macro does is it's just AF cleric. Inebriated Kongor. His website has this macro. Basically, it just watches the tank and I set it to 80 so it'll do a blast heal. I used to manual heal everything, but like I still have commands that tells my cleric and shaman to do a blast heal or a group heal. But it was taking a lot of energy out of me to lead a raid and heal, so I had to look for something. Oh, that's right, now I got the healing. How the hell did I get down here? It's raining in here. Freaking lava cave. It was funny. There is actually not only in this wing but other wings, a name can spawn from trash mobs. And there was one particular mob that used to have like, I don't know how much. It was like 100k regen. Basically, you couldn't kill it. Like we would sit there as a guild, like 4 or 5 people with 12 tunes being on this character, trying to burn it, and it go from like 90% to 20 to a full. We just could not kill it, and finally came, fixed it. He's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, and we're like, come and look at this. He's like, oh, my bad. And then he claimed that he fixed it and went on his way, and we're like, oh great, thanks. And then the next day it still happened, and luckily he was on, and he's like, oh, let's try this, and he eventually got it fixed, but it was funny. Freaking Kane. Where are you, Kane? You see this half elf? Run. Run. Kane. Look at this. I'm resisting his death touch, but he eventually got me. He was hitting me for 1 damage, but then got me. Doom. And hi, AKS. Back to our show. Alright. Now, in these tunnels is a nasty mob. The Molten Lava Spinner. It will cast a AE that a AE dot that will hit quite hard and drain mana. So basically every time you fight one, you're gonna have to sit there and cure it. And I might as well go pull the bugger because they'll probably attack Bear's group and he'll cry, and I don't want that to happen. Oh, these mobs are nasty. And there's the dot. 4-minute dot. Decrease HP by 3k. So it's a dot for 1k. And decrease mana by 100 a tick. So yeah, it's up. Again, my group has more HP, but it's gonna take 4 or 5 casts of group heal or using the cleric helmet to cure it. Alright, I'm gonna go back the other way. I just didn't want that Square the Roman run the bear. I'm glad Bear's here to loot this stuff because I would hate to see it just rot. But thank you, appreciate that. Actually, I know a lot of my guildmates used to be casters, and they had pet classes, and they'd be like, the pet commands don't work, and the hold commands, so it led to a lot of arguments, but I believe them. I know Trev did a lot of work on them. But sometimes there's some events where the pets will just go after the mob, and really, for whatever reason, you might want to move the mob for a particular mechanic. If you do encounter a fight like that, I would just say like, okay, pets gotta be killed for this fight. I can't think of any right now off the top of my head, but if you ever run into that, I remember there was some times where I was like, okay, we just gotta have pets gone because they're messing up aggro, or it's like I want all DPS off, so kill all pets. So right here is the globe of lava. So every tier has these globes. I'm gonna leave it here and hopefully Bear lose it. But basically, you need 2 of them. So the boots and the helm drop in this tier. So if you want to change a armor mode, let's say again leather drops. I have no leather. I looted on my warrior the boots, leather boots. If I have 2 globes of lava and then buy the ruined conversion stone, which costs like 25k, I hand into the Drake at the entrance of the zone 2 globes of lava, leather boots, and the conversion stone, and he'll hand me back plate, boot material, and then I can quest them like normal, which again is 2 crimson eggshells. So there's really no fear. There's this boss here, but there's these mobs around here. You really had no fear of pulling the boss. Again, I am away from the mob, hidden my insight, and getting at that, or getting them up. Let's see what the wiki says about this fight. Ooh. This guy's rich. This guy, wow, he's got like 20k. I'll be nice and give it to Bear. Bear, make sure you loot this stuff as I'm killing this. Okay. This fight is unique. I'm not gonna pull up the wiki. I pulled up the wiki, but you can read through it. I'm just gonna give my version, and then you can refer to the wiki to help you out later. And by the way, when we raided as a guild, I would always read the wiki as if it was like a Bible to go over the strats. Yeah, tier appropriate globes, Bear. So, like this tier has lava. So the helm and the boots that drop from this tier, you will want the globes of lava to convert. Likewise, with the tier 1 epic pieces, if you want to exchange the epic pieces, you exchange to the vendor. I watched a video earlier. You'll get it. So this boss, basically, this pet has a lot more HP than the boss. And this has a mechanic where if their HP is separated, they will get mad and the other one will enrage and hit harder. So I'm going to try to do this the safe way. I can't guarantee that I absolutely will. But basically, I want to try to keep their HP like in sync, like 10% or 5%. But again, the Warlord has a lot less HP. So here's the kicker. If you kill Snapjaw first, or sorry, if you kill the Warlord who has less HP first, he respawns. You have to kill the pet first. Or is it vice versa? I can't remember. I think the pet has to die first. But the Warlord, that doesn't make sense that the Warlord was spawn. I don't know. We'll see if I get it right. How about that? Up. Must have been some trash. Did you just kill it? I better just refresh my bus. I guess I'm gonna buy fine without it. Screw the bus. Where's my overhaze? Ah, molten lava spinner. Yes. Where the hell is he? Oh, we're good. Alright, so what I like to do for this fight is go behind here. Stay there. So I like to build up a lot of aggro because I go back and forth between the two mobs. I'm sure nowadays with the HP values you can probably get away with just killing one and dealing with the higher damage to the other, but I'll do it more like the classic way. Slow. I'm kind of waiting for my shaman to get the slow off here. Get the first one off. Get the second one off. Alright. Let's start attacking the pet Snapjaw, which I don't have the models. He really is a ballast or something. So I got him down like 90%. Now I'm gonna switch mobs. I'm gonna start attacking the Warlord. I guess I should show you how it looks when they got a lot. Snapjaw just hit me for 6k. And see, the ballast boost. So the Warlord is getting like a boost. It's like spamming the boost. You can see how much faster the... See, Snapjaw is now hitting me for 9k. Because he got beefed up that much. Because their HP went that much out of whack. It must be a 5% threshold. Because that boost was going off like crazy. So get Snapjaw down. You can see his HP has equalized. Now I want to go back to the Warlord. And you can see the ballast, the boost is happening. It's being casted. And then all of a sudden I'm getting hit by 7k again. I can't remember if it goes down in terms of DPS or not. So Warlord, Raven's not, Brawls, and Anchor. That's what happens when the HP goes like way out of whack. And there's a nasty hit. $9k from Snapjaw. Again, you want to make sure that you got these things slowed. And the Warlord dies much faster. I'm pretty sure that Snapjaw needs to die first. And Snapjaw's slow wore off, so... This is where I want to make sure I got like my 10-minute slow on there. Because in a fight like this, if I'm like trying to focus on the HP values, I don't want to have to worry about like slow wearing off and all of a sudden I'm getting hit. Or something ridiculous. And there is like a little... If I didn't have Soy on, I would just suffer the knockback. I saw the emote. So Warlord just casted some boost. So this would probably be a good time to do Final Stand. You're getting peppered. Now I also need the Warlord to be slowed down. A Snapjaw lost slow. They might have dispelled it. Again, you might get away with burning one or other, but if not, then you're going to want to play this balance game. Just remember the Warlord does have significantly less HP than Snapjaw. How could you do this to my poor little Snapjaw? I don't know what to do is referencing. Oh. So pretty much at this point, I really don't want to mess around anymore with their HPs. I just want to finish Snapjaw off because I don't want the Warlord to respawn. And I don't want... This is where pets can burn you in the ass, because if I was balancing it up to like 10 or 5% and then pets stayed on like the Warlord, who has a lot less, a significantly less amount of HP, they could easily kill the Warlord off, and then it's like, well, what the hell, like... Now it respawned, and yeah, so he's got this huge buff on him. I think that can be dispelled, actually. I think it said that on the guide when I was going over there and reviewing it. Alright, I hope I'm right with the Snapjaw. It has to die first. Alright, so the Warlord emotes that he's pissed. Also, I'm seeing 6k from him. I wasn't before. So yeah, this fight actually, yeah, it's a good example of the pets. But this fight is definitely a bear. I know you can do it. I believe. And actually there's the arrow for, excuse me. That's the Dreadspire arrow. And then there is a nest arrow, and then other than that, there's a dranik. The dranik seal is the arrow for the ranger, and that's it. That's the best arrow. That arrow, the dranik one, has 15 damage, and then these same slots. I can't remember about the bang damage, and then it has a clicky effect on it. But bear is more focused in the casters. So unfortunately, leather boots dropped for him. So the heart. In this case, it's the scale. The heart is the scale. Nice og. What we got for our shoulders? And the shoulders are whatever. Again, heart is the scale. That's all you bear. And now we'll move on. Here in trash. Oh, there's a page 4 over here where I'm at. There's 5 minutes to get it. This is luck. You might already got it. I'm sure you'll get the pages in time. Alright, moving on. So moving on, you can kind of go either way. You can go down or you can go right. Really, these other 2 fights, I didn't farm on my own until much later. But the eggshells are kind of the easiest in this tier just because there's a bountiful amount of them. But this fight I'm going to right now was extremely hard for me to think of a way to do it on my own. And even executing it was a huge pain in the butt. Based on what I've been seeing, I'm not going to run into the issue. But my AC is low, and I have seen my rogue take some good damage on hits just because he's not at a magic AC level. What's the magic AC level? It's just the amount of AC where the attack rating of a mob is just, your armor is good enough just to mitigate it, so you're not getting max hit like all the time. Like on that, a good example is on that fight I just did where that where the pet was hitting me for 9k sometimes. That was probably his max hit for like my armor class, but he wasn't doing it often, and it's probably because I have a high enough AC where I'm not seeing max hits often. But if I go somewhere like, or let's just say my rogue got aggro, he might be getting max hit or close to max hit like all the time. Another freaking spider. Again, get the poison. It's gonna have a dot, so cure it. You might have to use Radiant Cure if you don't have the caster helm yet. Which, by the way, I recommend getting your cleric the helmet before your warrior. Actually, that's kind of tough because the warrior helmet is a AE taunt. But definitely put the cleric as second for this pure water cast. Or you can be sitting there doing group heal all day. Which, actually, the helm you're going to be spamming either way. I guess the group cure works as well. Oh, yeah. So since you have, like, basically, like, the equivalent, you can wait a little bit. I would get on your cleric first. That helm. In my intro to this video, I was saying that basically that armor, like this is tier 3 SOD armor. This is what I had when I was like first starting off this zone, and I didn't really replace it until I got dranik armor. The only advantage, as Bear just kind of mentioned, another taunt, is that it gives you like a 1 minute like AE taunt, so you don't have to wait 5 minutes for your AA ability taunt to come up. I'm just gonna leave these crimson eggs up. Just pop them yourself, Bear, as I continue on. But like right here's a crimson egg, so either a drakeling will come out, and then a rage drakeling that will have shells, or maybe a name, and the name will have the blood for the epic, in addition to eggshells and probably a miscellaneous hog. Probably for the sake of speeding up this video, I'm probably going to use the power I shouldn't be using, but it'll help me clear out this trash a little bit faster here. Dude, it's just EQ music. I remember when this like came out, like Planes of Power. I don't remember if it was this one. It might have been this one, but I remember there was one with like who pays 6. I remember it had like this huge build up. That was pretty cool. But then it gets really repetitive. Alright. These are like end game clicks. Yes, they're overpowered. But I'm gonna use it here to clear this out real quick. What's been happening? These bears and blades have been hitting stuff for like 20k. Again, high-end stuff. But I just wanted to make quick work of that. So this room, you're going to want to hold off. Well, you can keep killing those eggs. This room, you can stay at the entrance and you can single pull these ads out of here. That's what I'm going to do right now. Just while I need to get this debuff off me. Oh, they also has stamina drain. So this mob is rooted in here, but I still don't want to piss them off yet. So I'm just gonna go around the edges, pull the names. I just like to pull the few mobs in this area. I just pull it to the entrance, clear it out. Double drops helped a lot with the pages. The pages used to take quite a bit to get, but seems like now you can get them really easy. Alright. Need to use the buff crystals up and then I'll start explaining this fight. Again, this is where like having like some form of like improved parry, improved dodge on your like melee tunes, like you're a ranger or a rogue, is gonna be huge. Huge, I tell ya. And if I do have any healing mushrooms left, only my warrior has a 78. The others just have a 76. I just don't spend 100k on the low 78 unless you really have nothing else to do. But I'll word it this way: money always stays relevant. Like in Frost Crypt, it costs 1.25 million to make 7 pieces of armor. That always stays relevant. So even if you got 1 million plat sitting there in the bank, like I said, oh, congrats on the blood. So there's blood for you. So for your epic, you need Emerald, Crimson, and Shadow. So I draw some tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So that's a great find. To me, if you can always get at least one name to drop per run of a tier, that's a good one. And these items are just miscellaneous. And sometimes you can get a good Og, but you didn't get one in this particular case. Where was I with my buffs? Right. So for this fight, ooh-wee, this having fun. Barry, oh, you're probably just watching the stream, right, Bear? When I'm actually done the fight. Yes, I would concur with that. Are you watching the fights from your tune just like on MQ, or do you watch the stream for these? At any rate, every 10%, this mob's rooted, every 10%, 2 ads are going to spawn from the back, right where this cave is. There's 3 different colors. There's a blue, a green, and a red. The nastiest is, I want to say the blue, but I'm probably going to be wrong. I was just asking because I'm pointing stuff out on my screen that you might not notice if you were just watching from the game. That's all. Help if I click the right mob. Alright, red drakes have a large damage shield that will either need to be dispelled or killed with ranged spells. Green drakes have high DPS, so it's good to have a tank on them. And blue drakes have the AE stun. That all said, that's on the wiki, by the way. Basically, blue is going to be the biggest one. So if I see a blue one, I'm going to like have both characters on there because I want to try to get rid of it, try to kill it so it doesn't do the stun. These little stone pillars will block the AE from hitting my casters. So what I do is I pile them up here into this little crevice, and that, so my casters stay there. 2 drakes will pop. I'll have my ranger and rogue here, and I will snatch one on both of them. My cleric's going to be healing my warrior that's just going to be tanking this guy. Basically the goal is get this guy down to 90 HP and be ready to grab the drakes. All DPS off the name until those 2 drakes are dead. Rinse and repeat. Again, if those drakes like get over here and are like, especially like a blue one, it's casting AE stun, it's just a nightmare. Like it's just gonna wipe you because of you're not getting heals off. And especially like your whoever off tank melee. Like in Bear's case, he would try using pets. I don't know if he would get away with his current pets, but with his 2.5 pets, I'm sure they can tank these ads. So this fight might not be doable until he gets 2.5 epic. Again, this was one of the last fights that I could actually do by myself because it is tough. But summary: every 10%, this guy will 2 ads will spawn at the back entrance. My ranger and rogue, for my case, I'm gonna be back here ready to pick them up. I guess if I was better with my bard, I probably would have been more smarter, and I would have picked them up and kited them or something. But alas, I would just off tank them. The warrior's just gonna stay here on this rooted mob. As soon as those 2 ads are dead, if the Drake wasn't ready for the next 10%, then I would like bow it down because the ranger can kind of stay in the back. So, and then again, I'm line of sight tanking. So, Bear mentioned earlier on a different fight that he knows that the AE was going through the wall. Sometimes that happens, but in this particular case, it's one of the times where basically Kane designed it so you could line of sight this particular spell. If the spell is going through a wall, it means he did not intend for that spell to be wall tanked or using such strats. So there's a lot of thought put into it. So always try wall tank strats, but if they don't work, it just wasn't intended. I'll just word it that way and leave it at that. So here we go now. Again, this guy is rooted. So I'm gonna want to make sure I get a slow off before I. Yes, so I want to make sure that before anything else, I get slow off this guy because I don't want ads to spawn and I don't want the tank to get hit super hard. So I have to heal the tank and 2 other characters. It'd just be way too much to deal with. Hey, this guy's unslowable. Oh no, I got slow off now. But I want, oh. And then of course I get 2. Oh, that's worse. That's horrible. So basically I really want to pull this back over here because I don't want him stunning my casters. Get this thing back over here. The casters are protected. So the ranger does shit DPS with melee. They really need triple attack, but their bread and butter is the bow, so whatever. I guess my rogue's like meleeing for the same, but the backstab's doing a lot more. I remember when I was doing this, I was doing a lot of micro heals with my shaman. I'm not right now, but I just want to advise that I would have to switch to shaman quite a bit and get a heal off here and there. So now I got that down. He actually spawned ads at I don't know, 95% or something. So I don't know if he'll spawn ads at 90% or 85, but basically I'm stabilized. Like the slow, actually the slow is only good for a minute. So actually I want to get the slow off, which is what I was trying to do. I'm going to try to use my time staff to get a lawn slow so I don't have to worry about it. He got resisted. Got resisted again. Malice. There we go. Now I got my lawn slow on him. 9 minutes. So Malice does help a lot. I don't have to worry about that for 9 minutes. Now, so it looks like the ads are going to happen at 85. So it's going to be 85, 95, 85, 75, 65, 55, etc. So I'm just going to pop a few arrows into this guy. It's at 86%. I want to be ready to grab those ads because I don't want to go into the casters like last time. Wait for it. So 2 blue once again. And thanks to proximity aggro, the ranger grabbed both of them, but I'm taking them surprisingly well, but it might be because I might have a higher rank of dodge on. I try to take most of that stuff off. Back here. Taunt. And there's a stun. Yeah, you can see how nasty the stun is. I've been waiting to go back. You can just imagine your casters getting hit by that. Really should have a hot up, but I don't. I have a group hot up, but I'm not using it because it's a solitaire spell. So yeah, this kind of turns out to be a longer fight, but this is the only way I could find a way to do it. Because if you try to burn, I was actually full solitaire's gear and try full burn in this mob, and I almost wiped because all the drakes spawned, and it was a nightmare. Surprised ads have not spawned yet. So again, kind of position yourself. Make sure the slow is still good. So I thought the ads would spawn, so they haven't. So I'll pop a few arrows because everything's good. Slow's good, health's good, mana's good, everything's good. There we go. Get over here. Get your ass over here. These are not the stun ones, but even though they're not the stun ones, it's just still kind of best practice to just have them dead over here. My ranger actually does such low damage that it might be better off just using the rogue instead. And again, I used to not have a macro with my cleric to do a heal, so it's been taking care of the tank. And I do have some mushrooms still up, but I used to have to manually heal quite a bit. And you can see that Adam was at 85%, he did 15k. If it would have been, if I could have gotten these characters to get them down to 40k HP, they would have been at like 3k AC, which is just a ridiculous amount. I couldn't off tank these things with that amount. Now for the ranger, this spell, Bowman's Rally Call, level 74 spell, you're gonna want to use that. Fires 4 arrows off, and then puts a debuff where you're they'll take 20% more damage from your arrows. So a little tip to rangers out there. This other one is a solitaire spell, which I won't use, but it's the same spell but on a different cooldown and has a 30%. But that 74 you get just from leveling up. So again, got ads cleared. Check on slow. Slow's still pretty good, but see if I can get it off. Just okay, now it's good for 9 minutes. I probably can go the rest of the fight without not worrying about it. So everything's stabilized. I'm gonna pop some more arrows. There's some ads. Oh, that fight, that music's starting to get really annoying now. that was a prismatic one, I'd definitely be running over there trying to taunt it to get over here, but since it was just a red one, I was just popping some arrows into it. If I need to. Yeah, I can even get a slow off. But pretty much my tank has been doing the majority of the DPS on this guy. It's just the way it works out because these drakes are... This fight's all about controlling these drakes and getting on them and add control. Just like a fight on live. And that's what I like about, or not like, but love about custom legit servers. It's like the progression, everything, it just has a feel to live, but just on a smaller scale. Kane and Trev have done a great job with this server. Explosive lava plume. I couldn't tell you what the heck that thing does. I know it does some emote about something about healing, and this is one mistake you don't want to make is I don't want to switch my rogue and leave the ranger up and DPSing on this guy, because all hell will break loose. Cthulhu will be released, and all that good stuff. So yeah, make sure, again, the pets or whatever are not on that Drake, and then you end up with 4 or 6 ads of these stun locking sons of bitches. Again, since this is not the blue drake, I'm letting it over there. I'm just popping with some arrows. Because they're low aggro, and I'm gonna do a lot more damage with my bow. But as soon as I get his attention, I'll heal you. You can tell that like Adam's just having a hard time with this blue drake because it's just stunning him. So Bear's team is focused with a caster, so like in this particular fight, he might have a hard time even getting DPS. He might be able to DPS through the stones, but he's definitely gonna... He'd definitely be behind these stones, and if he had to duck out of them to cast like a dot or something, then he would just duck behind the stone again. Alright, so slow still good. But those ads should be coming like right now. Monk could be really good here too. Again, a monk's got like a AE like cyclone like the warrior, so he could rack up. A monk could rack up both drakes, and then if you needed like off tank one of them, someone else could peel off. So even when this thing gets down to like 20% or 25%, I'm still gonna want to just stick to this method because again, you get 4 drakes, it can be bad news. Just turn this stuff down. Cut it out. Oops. And another thing, just out of general practice, my warriors got like, so the mobs like asses to the my melee tunes, and it's not face in case he has like a frontal AE, it's just I got it set up so positioning. Long story short, positioning. And since this fight's going really easy, or since it's going good, let me talk a little bit about DPS here. Let me get this thing down. By default, spiritual SV, whatever the Beast Lord spell is for like HP and AC, that's on your character. That will override one of the ranger buffs. I forget if it's like the strength or the attack. Basically, the ranger has two buffs. Both are attack. One has an attack and an HP component. I imagine that's the one that the Beast Lord overrides because it has an AC component. The ranger has higher attack stats. Attack's very important because the higher attack rating is, the better is to get max hit or I think even higher hit. So always a stack attack. You always want the highest possible attack. Especially on a server like this where like the HP is doubled. Like even like the Frost Crypt Paladin Browse spell, Browse, it's like 1k HP. It's not gonna make or break you when the mobs are hitting for 60k. So stack up that attack. I haven't been using the buffs because I've been kind of wanting to keep my power down, but I have SV and Browse like permanently blocked on all my tunes, even my casters, just to make it easy across the board. Because you will run out of spell slots. Like the Regen's another one I got permanently blocked. So just find like spell, like my warrior doesn't need spell haste, so I got those permanently blocked, so they don't take up a slot. Yeah, so that's a little 101 on attack rating. One minute on or 2 minutes on slow. Another thing is like this blue is really nasty, so I had the attention of the green drake, so I might want to kind of position myself to kind of kill this blue one a little bit quicker. But I don't want to have my back to the green drake where he's all of a sudden like max hitting me all the time. So this guy's down to 10%. I'm basically gonna get one more slow off, and it can just be the 2 minute slow. That'd be good enough. So he's slow for 3 minutes. He's good. I know one more set of ads are going to come out, but I'm just going to go ahead and burn the Lord whatever down. I can't remember if they despawn or not. Oh, looks like a 5% no ads. Yeah. Oh, tier 2 epic piece, sweet. 2 more arrows. Bummer. So leather boots. Man, drops are not cooperating for poor bear here. Caster shot, that's yeah. So pure caster, which bear has 3 casters. So that's awesome that pure caster. So now his casters, I assume he's got the tier 1 piece. So he's got the tier 1. He'll now have the tier 2. All he needs is the heart from tier 3, and then the 100k item on the vendor. So he would take the 100k item from the vendor, which is a container with 4 slots, put Draco's heart, which again is tier 3, very hard dragon. Very hard, very, very hard. And then the 3 bloods, combined it. That's one piece of the epic. So he takes that one piece, the heart and the bloods, all combined together, one item, with the tier 1, the tier 2, and the epic 2.0 to the Drake at the beginning zone, and he would get his 2.5 epic. So yeah. Oh. So that was leather boots. That wasn't the helm. So this particular mob, I think this is considered the hardest mob. But he has the random drop. Where or maybe it's random every time. I don't know. I thought one of these had the helm. I know what's his face that we killed before. He always has the boots, but I can't remember if this particular mod that we just killed if he has the boots and the helm every time or if he's just got the boots. Actually, this guy might be random. Now I'm starting to think about it. This next guy we're going to, he might have the helm every time. But I could be wrong. We could sit here and debate all day, or I can go over there and just kill it. Sounds like a better plan. So again, to just speed this up, I'm going to use these clicks that are stupid powerful. If I had to go through great lengths to get them. And I'll leave the eggs up for a bear. And you can also loot this stuff. And this just speed up the stream and the video for people who watch this. But down the road, you see me, I've been killing through these tunnels, so you know how to do it. So you're not missing out on anything by me going slow through here. And I'm not cheesing the rooms. I'm not, I'm clearing them out how I would normally would properly. Where's my cleric got held up? Oh, this stupid spider. Alright, I'm gonna kill this one last mob and then I'll just stream, and then I'll break this up into 2 different highlights, which I can reference people to tier 1 and tier 2 nests. And one day I might go back for that other dragon, but it seems like people are getting it on their own. A strat. So Bear probably actually could do this next fight because it is the pet tanking boss. I'll read the wiki when I get closer. But essentially, if you're not a pet, you're getting hit for oodles amount. You might say Madra or Andy or whoever the hell you are. You don't have a pet class. And you're right. I got my shaman, but that pet's not going to cut it. Turns out that the ranger can actually work for this fight. But it is nice to have a pet to tank it, but you can get by with just a ranger, which I didn't know until I had to do the harder version of this fight in solitaires. And let me tell you, that's fun. Not. Because this one is rooted, this mob, that solitaires one is not. And if you get close to him, he's doing this big bang fire attack on you. And, yeah, it hits hard. Like it can drop 160k ranger quickly. And again, people were farming this before double HP, when their ranger was probably like 50 or 60k HP. And that was probably a well-geared ranger at the time. I think my warrior was only like 60k HP back then. Yeah, my warrior was probably essentially this at that time, with probably 6600 AC. Solitaire is geared before double HP. In this room, there's a little bit of trash. We're just gonna clear it out. There's these 2 drakes here. They're not part of the boss. And So just a few more here. Very important, like most fights, this fight does have a knockback component, so you're going to want levitate. There's lots and lots of fights where levitate are with knockback, and levitate's just needed. Depending on how crazy this gets, I might be able to take my... I think even my Bard with like 150k HP or wherever he's got right now, I think even he will die really quickly, this boss. And actually, I think sometimes he does die because I issue a stick command and then he sings a song and then some like AE goes off and then he ends up targeting the mob and then he has like this stick command issued and then he ends up running up to the mob and just dying, and it's like 20k and then he goes down quick. My Bard has done that on a few different fights. Oh, a couple of globes there. Good. So these drakes on the bridge are nothing. They don't do anything crazy. I forgot. My warrior. One thing that might be making this a little OP on my warrior, because he hasn't been getting spiked that much, is that I got the Tuner, the upgraded Dreadspire shield, which has a 3k ruin on there. But it says spell damage. Might not be mitigating melee damage. I digress. Point being is, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, I should be able to do this stuff, why can't I? I'm not showing this as how to one group the nest. It's more of how I did it when I was dranik geared on my warrior. And it's kind of a how-to video other than that. And just for fun. Especially for players who haven't seen the server for a long time or used to play, or they might actually beta play this and they might be pissed off watching this video, seeing one group and saying, oh, that shit hit for 12k because it wasn't optimized, and these healing mushrooms. Sorry. The server just went that way. So this boss, no tanky with anything but pets, but he won't aggro anyone, so that's how I get away with the ranger, is because he won't aggro anyone. Basically, if I'm on like the other half of this bridge, like over here, he could be killing me right now. I don't know exactly where the range is. It might not be happening because I don't have him aggro. So basically, I'm just going to shoot arrows at him. Now, during this fight, one reason levitate is very important is because he will do a knockback. And you can get stuck in this lava, and it sucks. It sucks hard. Also, there are ads that spawn. It's like a swirling something. I don't know. They have like a AE or something. So I had to attack. I had to get on them and attack them and kill them. So that's it. Just a few ads. So pretty much the ranger's gonna be popping them. I'll pull up True Shot. I got Death Shot, but it's got a little bit higher multiplier than True Shot. But I'll use True Shot. They all have the same timer. But I am gonna want to do that. And for the sake of making this fight a little bit faster, I am going to use my epic lick. I'll show you the epic lick. Basically, the 2.5 and the 2.0 have a similar proc, so it's just going to speed this up a little bit. So No need to slow him. Again, I'm just gonna stay away and put arrows in his butt. That. Okay. Oh, I didn't tell you what the last boss had. So right now, like, my ranger's actually stunned. Like, I'm trying to move him left and right. Or she's stunned. She's stunned again. Again, I'm going to want to use that Bowman's rally call that I talked about earlier. Again, I'm stunned. So this stuff happens. Yeah. Yeah, 2.5 epic pets are supposed to tank this guy. But again, remember you had like 20 people in the zone, so you had like multiple people like healing. I remember our guild, yeah, we didn't have a 2.5 pet and we got away with it. I remember just like me and someone else, I think I got away with just healing it. I think the Necro pet worked really good because of the hail ability and the weapons that proc the little like that. Holy stun, Batman! Like, are you kidding me? Or is she like trapped? I was like, what the? I think I got stuck. So that's a perfect example of just getting stunned. So that was a good waste of true shot. Are you kidding me? That happened again? Maybe I'm getting FD. I don't know. So it's some ads like probably in no, they're not in. But really, you don't want to get too close to this guy, because like I said. Oh. If I would have hit that, that would have been bad. That's a solitaire spell. I would have hit him real hard. Your Dreadspire bow, your dranik bow will also have ability that's similar to True Shot, so that's another clicky I'm going to use in this particular case just to move on. But as you've seen, the other fights in the zone, I have not used any burns. That puts a little buff on me to increase my damage for a little bit here. Now you can like my wizard if well, I wouldn't use my wizard right now, but I used to use my wizard and cast some nukes in between here. You can cast dots, so like Bear, he could be having all his pets, just healing the one, using dots and using his mages. But then you have to be prepared for the ads. Which ad's gonna come here? I'm getting hit for this 5k or whatever. I don't know if that's just because of an AE or so there's two ads right there. A Bears team hit him, but that's alright. You're getting the idea here anyway. This fight's just gonna take a while anyway. There's my warrior, somehow got knocked in the lava. I saw Bear. Oh, I don't want to be there. Do not want to be there. And yeah. Thanks, Bear. So it can be hard. So like if my characters were getting knocked back a lot, you might want to have like all fall just to get everyone kind of grouped up. There's Bear. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to tank because I pretty much proven that this fight's just going to go on as a win, so you can kind of get a feel for how your pets will tank this thing. So I'm fine with that. So yeah, 50%, it looks like these ads just start spawning. As you can see, I can just switch my rogue and it looks like the boss does a random AE. Yeah, it's good to keep everyone clustered. I can switch my shaman and spot heal my ranger. Guardian Force just a AA. Your legs has a. Oh, I got Elduin. Well, they have a buff that's actually the like true shot. Oh well. Here comes another ad. So how's your pet tank? How did your pet do, Bear, for the audience? And see my I don't even have haste up on this character right now. And her over haste spot up. That's where like this is why I like having buff haste, because my bard is out of range right now. And that's where, or if the bard stops casting a spell, that's where having casted versions of spells on you is just nice. So yeah, his 2.0 pet's tanking it, so I believe Bear will be able to come in here. I believe he'll be able to kill the Warlord and this guy, no issue. That other fight, if he came to me and said I tried it and I got owned, it wouldn't surprise me. And if he was able to do it, I would give him props for his current gear level. Really. And he dropped 2 good Oggs, melee Oggs. Oh no, those are not melee Oggs. Actually, dodge shield. They're good Oggs nonetheless. And then what else we got here? Ooh, this is a rare focus effect to have. This is not the shaman version. There's a shaman version that I say shaman version, but that I could use on my shaman. Actually, I think it was a shoulder slot. This Sarnius Malice is a hard focus effect to find. Like basically, I can't think of many items that have it. So like, even though like Solitaris would have like 2k HP and mana items, I would wear not this earring, but the shoulder version of basically item with similar stats. I would wear a nest item over the Solitaris just to have the detrimental, which makes my shaman spell, instead of a 6-minute slow, a 9-minute slow. So very good. Ranger, you're not really using dots, but if we were, it'd be great for that. Shadow Knight, ooh, that'd be really good for a Shadow Knight and a Beast Lord. Though I don't think Beast Lords get good dots, but Shadow Lord. Anyway, but the sharpshooting is always nice. I think I saw one other unique. It's nice that you finally got a plate helmet to drop, which again I recommend your cleric for that to help you with that cure. And then these red glowing pieces are another way to always tell that that's the 2.0 piece. So they all share the red gem icon, where the 1. Or tier 1 has different looking items. So that's a really good loot table. 2 items. I'm really happy for Bear. 2 very nice Oggs. So now he'll be able to turn in the scales again. The scales from the 3 dragons with the crimson pendant, and then he'll get the shadow or some kind of pendant, and he'll be able to go in tier 3. Which, by the way, Bear, I'd be hesitant to go in there because there are traps that you're not going to see me do. But if you do try it, you might be able to kill the Drake over there. And the spider. But Draco, do not even bother. Do not even bother. Your group will get annihilated because he has, like, his spell resist is ridiculous. You, unfortunately, will... I don't want to say you will never be able to farm him on his own, but I think even if you were solitaire geared, I don't even know if you could farm him. You might be able to just with your 3.0 pets. It's nasty. My wizard, even frost crypt gear, like, can't do anything to him because all the spells get resisted. You can go over there and loot. So that's tier 2. Broke down a lot. I think anyone who somewhat knows the server could probably gather how to do the 2.0 or 2.5 epic from this. Again, you want to always loot the pages 1 through 9. Because what happens... Let me grab a drink of water. So, Bear right now just got done with tier 2, so you can get in tier 3. At the end of tier 3, when he turns into 3 Drake scales, and his Shadow Pennant, he'll get a Prismatic, which opens up tier 4. Then he will... there's 2 dragons in tier 4. When he kills those 2, he will turn those 2 and the Prismatic in to get some fancy dancy, some kind of crystal. And then he turns that in with his Dreadspire charm. He will then get the charm for the nest, the nest version of charm, which will allow him to open this first door to Vish. But you can't get into the Vish area without having the 9 pages, which you only need to do on 1 character. You can open the door and whoever can come in there. I've cleared this zone. I got every class epic 3.0. I've only done that quest on my warrior just because I haven't felt like looting the pages on other characters. But whenever I come here, I always have to have my warrior and open the door so other characters get in there. You can do the same thing with the first door, but again, that's with the nest charm to open the first door. The second door into the vicious area, you need the 9 pages, and then the 9 pages you turn into Craig Flamefoot, and then I think he says to go hand something to Headmaster Grolog. So thank you for everyone for coming out watching the stream. Really appreciate it. And then I'm going to highlight this in 2 different sections. So if you're watching this down the road, I hope the video was useful. And just hit me up on the forums or Discord with any criticism. I'll probably definitely finish up the nest. I don't know if I'm going to do dranik. If I do dranik... Tongue twister. If I do dranik... There we go. It might not be for a very long time. It might be something just on a whim, or maybe I'll get on a roll and do a bunch, but... And I can't even say when I'm going to finish up the nest. It might be a week, it might be 2 weeks. But I'll try to do another one. To be fair, I will say I want to try to do it at least within 2 weeks. Another nest one stream. So I'm going to end my rambling there. Any feedback, positive, negative, indifferent, really appreciate it. Just hit me up on the forums. So y'all have a good one. Peace.